Yo, welcome back to another episode of Miracle Mindset for Men. I am your host, Heru Dre, aka Handsome Heru. It's been about a month and a half since I've done my last episode. Just taking time to myself, getting some mental clarity and things of that nature. Traveling and whatnot. But I'm back. So I got a very, very important topic to talk about tonight. We are going to talk about mental block. What is mental block? Where does it come from? How it affects our life? And what are some things you can do to get through it? Okay? So, mental block. A lot of times we have mental block. It could vary from a lot of different things. Mental block can be from a term that I used a month ago called learned helplessness. Basically, you're stopping yourself from doing something even though you have the opportunity to get out of that situation. I think a lot of us, just about everybody has that kind of situation in their life. A mental block can be comparing yourself to other people, seeing everybody else's success, and you're not getting the courage to do what they're doing. Or you can be discouraged because you see they're doing something that you're not doing and you feel like you can do it, and you're comparing yourself. And I think that could start a mental block in a way. But another thing can be like if something doesn't, like if you have a goal set and you fail at the goal, that could become a mental block because now you feel like you're a failure. And it's hard for you to get past your failures. So what you would do is you would just say you can't do it. And that's not really the case. Sometimes first you don't succeed, try again. And it can be a challenge, but anything worth coming easy is not worth having. So I think people should remember that. So mental block can also be a thing to where you don't have any type of mental clarity, like a straight, clear vision of what it is you want to do with your life, or you can't think about something. It's really a lot of things that can, cause these things, like the water you drink, the food you eat, the environment that you're around, the music you listen to. It's a combination of a lot of different things. So as an individual, you have to figure that part out yourself. You can't have somebody else figure that part out for you because everybody live their own life. Now, if you have somebody trying to tell you what your own mental block is, you're kind of using their thoughts to put in your head. And that's not what you want to do. You want to take time to yourself to figure out what it is that's going on with you, what's wrong with you, and then you try to fix that. Mental block can hinder you in a lot of different ways. It can hinder you from setting goals. If you have a career goal, you might feel like you don't have the confidence to achieve this goal. If you have a fitness goal, you will lack. You will lack. What's the word I'm looking for? You will lack. Shit, now I got a mental block, but you will lack the focus to want to, get up and go do these things or go work out. Or if you have a goal and it's to starting a podcast and you don't have anything to talk about, you have a goal and to want to change your career, but you don't know what it is. So it's a lot of different things. Like exercise your brain. You want to get through mental blocks, exercise the mind. What does that mean? Listen to some meditation music. I think that's one solution. Read. You got to read like a book a day. You can read like a page a day. Just get your mind going. Sit back and just think to yourself. Just think about where you want to be. Visualize where you want to be. And then, feel as if you're in that visualization. And then you can change what it is that you want to do in your life. So it's some things to get through mental block. Another thing too that mental block can cause, well, what could be the cause of a mental block is this term called destination addiction. So it is a preoccupation with the belief that happiness can be only found in the future at a specific destination or goal rather than in the present moment. So I think a lot of times a mental block doesn't mean that you're stuck somewhere. A mental block could be that you don't know how to evolve or move forward from something from one place to another. And you're not sitting there being aware and enjoying the moment that you are. So that's what destination addiction is essentially. And I think a lot of times we're so goal driven or we're so preoccupied with something else that we don't ever take in the moment of what's going on in front of us. And I think that could also cause a mental block. Because, like I said, mental block doesn't necessarily mean that you're just stuck somewhere. Mental block can mean that you don't know how to move past something. You don't know how to get through obstacles, right? And that's what learned helplessness comes in, because it talks about that as well. So I just think these are some things. So I just gave you a few things to, get through your mental block. Because it's important, in times like this where we full of mass distractions. And we're so busy focused on what's going on around us. But the most important thing is to focus on what's going on within us. And once we can understand what's going on within us, what's going on around us won't affect us. You have to learn how to not let things around you affect what's inside of you. That's where you got to take in on your individuality. You have to become a critical thinker, learn how to think for yourself. Like, all of these things tie into mental block. So just make sure, my highest choice is that you're staying focused. And it's another thing too. There's a book, I may have mentioned this a few episodes ago, called Outwitting the Devil. It talks about that particular thing. It doesn't use the word mental block. It's a state called the drift state. Now, the drift state is basically where you're drifting off to something that will keep you focused on a task, a goal, or anything that you have going on in your life. And that's when you're easily to be manipulated, because you don't have a clear-cut focus of what it is you want to do. And, Outwitting the Devil, just to sum it up, is basically is you versus you. Like, you are the devil. You have to learn how to overcome the devil that's within you. It's like you're the God and the devil. Like, there's a God in you and there's a devil in you. Depending on which one you let take over is how you're going to be feeling that day, in that moment of your life, or the rest of your life, whatever the case may be. And it's like there's a positive and a negative. Like, everything has its opposite attached to it. So mental blindness can definitely come from that, being in a drift state, when you're not really focused on the things that you want to do and you're just distracted by other things. So I think that's very important to look into or be aware of. And I think mental block can also be a lack of self-awareness as well. And being aware that something is stopping you, so you need to change the dynamic of what it is that's stopping you, right? So just a couple of things like that. That's good. Yeah, getting through mental block. Exercise the brain. Change your diet. Write goals down. Write, journal. Get a diary. The women, the younger women, or probably women my age or older, they had journals or diaries, and they would write what they went through that day, what they want, and stuff like that. So I think journaling your life will also help get you through a mental block, because now you can go back and read, like, oh, I went through this at this particular time, and look where I got, and look where I am now, right? So I think that's important. Journaling, reading, meditation music, meditating for sure. Find something that helps you stay focused. Like, for me, I like to read, I like to listen to music, I like to go to the gym. Every now and then I used to have a thing where I would do Freestyle Fridays. that was kind of like a thing that would just keep my mind going, just trying to come up with words, based off of experiences in my life, and then just to have a little bit of wordplay, right? Coming up with different ideas of how you want to make more money, coming up with different ideas of how you want to better yourself. Take workshop classes. There's so many self-development books and classes out there that you can take to help you get through that mental block. Get some friends, some encouraging friends. And I think I talked about brotherhood. You want to get some people who can help you through tough times or times where you feel like you're stagnant, right? So, but not just any friends. Like I said before, they got to be responsible, respectable, and righteous, right? The 3 R's. Always remember that. Just go for women too. If you want a sisterhood, make sure they're responsible, respectable, and righteous. You just can't go around forming alliances with different people if they got bad intentions. Speaking of intention is another one that you want to have. What is your intent on the things that you do? That could also help break through mental blockness. And I think that's important as well. But just remember this term I kept on using, learn helplessness. Just study that term. And once you can understand and grasp the concept of that term, then you'll be able to understand yourself a little bit better from the past to the present, and not so much worried about the future, because that's what destination addiction is. Like, you're too busy focused on the goal and you don't take in the moment at hand, like right then and there. So I think it's important. It's a balance, and it can be a challenge, but I got faith in all y'all that y'all can get through this mental block. Got faith in everybody that they can, turn their life around and get to whatever it is they want to be. And I think that's important. So just to sum up today's episode, I don't make my episodes long. I try to give them about 10, 15 minutes, but learn where your mental blockness comes from. Learn how to control that mental block. Learn how to get through that mental block, and practice getting through the mental block. So that is it. Ain't want to be here too long. I hope everybody has a great night tonight. Remember, at least read one book a day. Well, not a book a day, but a page a day. It could be any little thing. Journal. Find something that helps keep you focused. And, you'll be fine. You'll be straight. It worked for me. I got the most confidence that it'll work for you too. All right, peace.